Just because horses can't live in apartments doesn't mean your Sims can't enjoy a cozy Western aesthetic. But what the plumb bob is Western boho, and is that even a real thing? Okay, you've caught me out on the name, but the style is totally legit. Sit tight and let me explain. Hi everyone, it's Cindy, and welcome back to the channel. So I feel like it has been a hot minute since we've done an apartment renovation. So we are back in San Myshuno at 1312 21 Chic Street, otherwise known as Penny Pizzazz's apartment. And we are making an apartment today for actually one of the Sims in one of my private save games. Now, this apartment is available on the gallery, so if you want to download it, you can find it using my EAID or hashtag Hyggehaven, which is HYGGEHAVEN. And the apartment will cost 37,137 simoleons with a weekly rent of 400 a week. So I will put a picture on screen of Fletcher Waverly, which is the sim that we are building this apartment for today. He has just become a young adult and he is an up and coming comedian. And when I styled his young adult look in Cass, I went with a very boho aesthetic with a lot of clothes from the Paranormal Stuff Pack. And I wanted that aesthetic to translate into the interior design of his apartment. So as you can see here, we are working on the living room, and I had started looking on Pinterest for something kind of boho. I wanted something like masculine boho because normally when I at least think about boho style, I think much more feminine, soft colors and soft fabrics and wicker and things like that. And I wondered, well, how would that translate into a more masculine kind of tone? And so the photos that I found on Pinterest, there were a lot of similarities, I think, to a like hipster vibe when you talk about like a masculine type of boho. So I think that translates really well. I saw a lot of like leather, industrial metals, wicker, also a lot of soft coverings like pillows and blankets, many of which had Navajo designs on them, interestingly. Lots of dark colors, which is why we're going with this beautiful rusty red color in the living room, and also a lot of plants. So you'll see I've brought in a lot of plants here as well. So that is the aesthetic we're going for, and I've just kind of named it this fusion Western boho kind of name for today. But that's what we're working with today. Now you can see the living room has really taken form here. I have some of those Western elements from the Horse Ranch pack. I've also used some of the industrial loft kit here. I love this like shelf of a whole bunch of wall-mounted books that I've used. I actually saw that in some of the Pinterest pictures that I was looking at. And you'll see that I have included a microphone stand because, as I said, Fletcher is an up and coming comedian, and the photo wall behind the sofa, I feel like that is like those are the icons that he aspires to as he gets into his career. So I wanted to include those as well. And the living room is kind of divided into like two sections. You have like more the comedian entertainer area with like the microphone and the bar and some seating so he can have some mates around, practice his comedy routines, test out his new material. And then on the other side with the sofa and the television, you know, he is really big into video games. So he's got his video game station and all the controllers and some snacks and stuff. So he and his mates can like hang out there after he's done practicing his routines. I really wanted to also add in like the card table for a bit of poker and a dartboard, but there just wasn't the space, unfortunately. So we've gone with mostly focusing on the comedian side of things, which is cool too. But now we are in the kitchen. The kitchen, you will notice, is very small, and part of the reason for that is Fletcher is a very lazy sim. He has the lazy trait, so he is not big into cooking. So I've given him a very small kitchen. He also gets a microwave in here, and you'll see that I also pop in a Zoomers bag on the table because he does do takeaway from Zoomers quite a lot. I also really love this table. This is actually from Get to Work, and I think it fits with the whole horse ranch aesthetic really, really well. And I did not use the horse ranch counters here, but I did use the Jungle Adventure ones because, as I've said in a previous build, I feel like the Jungle Adventure really works well with the horse ranch items. So they mix and match really nicely together. And you'll see I also included a little desk area because he needs somewhere that he's going to write his routines. So he's got a little desk here that's kind of cluttered up with a couple of things. I also feel like he has like a bit of an eclectic style, which I think goes together with the boho slash hipster aesthetic very commonly. And that's why he has like the suitcase shelves above the desk and everything with the little knickknacks on it. I also gave him like the paranormal palm reading hand in the living room because, again, I feel like he has like this eclectic interest in kind of oddity items, and maybe he even uses them in his routine. So they're kind of scattered around his apartment for inspiration. And by the way, if you do download this lot as well and place it in the game, also know that I have been using some platforms in here, and when you upload a apartment to the gallery, you can't keep any of the platforms. So I've had to sink everything back down to the regular floor height, but in the bedroom, if you want to model it exactly like I have it here, you're going to want to raise up the bedroom 2 platform clicks, and you'll also need to reinstall the spandrels to the bedroom and the living room. I'm using the Horse Ranch spandrels, and you'll want to put some stairs in, of course, leading up to the bedroom. And then in the bathroom, in the shower area, I've made that its own little room, and you'll want to lower the platform by 1 click so that it traps all the water in. But now we have moved into the bedroom. I struggled, to be honest, with the bedroom, and in the end, I really like how it turned out, but it was a little bit tricky because I couldn't quite decide on what bed to use. I did end up going with this gray and black one, and I think it turned out really, really nicely. I also struggled with like where to place everything, the layout with the platforms. They're still a little bit janky, and sometimes when you try and place something in certain areas, they like disappear or they drop down below the platform. So it limited how I could lay out the room. But I think we got something that I really, really liked. And then I decided to make like a custom headboard using this wall art, which I've used in a lot of builds before. I think it's really cool. And I also love this end table. It's not an actual, well, it is actually like a table. It has actual slots on it. But it's like a knit hassock, and I actually found something exactly like this in a lot of Pinterest pictures. So I wanted to include that here as well as the end table. And I also get in this blanket basket. I did play test this apartment, and I found out that the basket was blocking Sims routing, so I have moved that. You won't see it in the screenshots, but I've moved it over by the window, and I also had to use Tool to shove the clothing rack closer to the wall. So your Sims should route properly around through there anyway now. But now we are in the bathroom. It is my kind of usual 2x3 sort of shape and general layout, but instead of having a shower tub combo, we have this sunken shower stall area, and I really like how that turned out with the snowy escape glass partition there and this beautiful dark color on the walls. I should also say Fletcher is probably very slovenly, and this should be a lot messier than it is, but I've kept it cleaner for the gallery, but feel free to change that, obviously, if you like. But we've got some messy towels in there for him as well. But if you enjoyed this build and this video, a like is always much appreciated, and if you're new, consider subscribing and click that bell to be notified of more updates. But we are just adding in a bin and some final touches, but that is everything for today. It's just a quick one. I hope you really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy those screenshots and have a lovely day.